we're going to come over here. Let's go I, Y, T. So again, what I'm doing, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my top position. So on the eyes, notice I have tension. I don't want to stand like this with a slack line because that means I'm not working. I'm not getting any benefit from it. So you want to make sure that whatever your top position is, you've got tension in it. So now, even though I made a small adjustment, I've got tension in it. Now notice, when I do these movements, you might not be able to see it from the grass, I like to pivot off my heels. I just like to have one contact point that I'm pivoting back and forth on. I feel like it improves my quality. The other thing is, unless you have really, really grippy shoes, if you try to use your soles for friction, you might slide much more than if you just dig your heels in and really have that one point of contact. So for the Ys, again, I'm going to find my position like that. I'm going to come down, notice my knuckles are over the top. And I'm going to pull myself back up, trying to maintain that tension at the top. As much as I can, I'm keeping my elbows straight, my abs tight, and you'll see that one of the things that happens in this movement, my ribs are going to want to flare out, and as much as I can, I want to control them. So maybe think about having 10% of a crunch, or whatever cue you like to use for bracing the core, ribs in, something like that. And you really want to avoid the temptation to lead with your belly like this. You don't want to end up in this position, okay? So you want to end up, I'm really going to try to keep my abs tight, keeping tension at the top, and then coming back down again, okay? These are really tough movements. I'm saying between 7 to 10 reps. Maybe not everybody can get those. If somebody's really having a lot of trouble here, okay, remember, if you take a step back, it'll make the movement a little bit easier. So I've just taken a step back now, okay? And you can see with that small adjustment, the movement has become much easier. I just still need to be mindful about keeping tension in this top line. So your partner would do their set, you do your set, and then once each partner has done their set, they go on to the next one, which after the I's comes the Y's. So the Y is very similar, except you use a wider grip now. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want it to be up like this. Literally just imagine an uppercase Y. So again, I'm going to find my top position here. That feels good. I'm going to come down, elbows straight, and pulling up, maintaining tension at the top. So I could come up a little bit higher, but if I come up any higher, I'm going to lose the tension. It'll actually make the movement less beneficial than if I just keep this tension up at the top. So my muscles are always working. And again, if someone's stepped a little bit too far forward, look, I'm going to make a small adjustment. It's not even a full step. Now, watch me try to do this movement. You can see it's much harder. So small adjustments will make a big difference in these movements. All right. The last one is going to be the T, which is the most challenging. And again, this one is really important. Find tension at the top. Good example between men and women. When women do this exercise, they're having trouble. They might say something like, oh, I'm not doing this right. I must be doing something wrong. I'm not getting the tension. But when guys do it, they'll get up here and they'll be like, oh, I'm too strong, or oh, I'm probably too big. And actually all they've done is they've just taken the tension out of it, where if they just come back here, okay, that's a much tougher movement. So if anyone thinks they're too tall or too strong or big for this movement, they're just standing with slack in the line. You want to make sure that the first thing you do is find your top position with no slack, okay? So maybe for me, we'll just see how this one feels. So my elbows are straight, out like this, palms facing forward. I'm going to come down. Oh, nope, it's too deep. So let's find a better position. Let's try that. Okay? There we go. Smidgy step forward. Really want to make sure I find it so I can get a squeeze back here. So this one really requires the most adjustment. I think I found a pretty good position though. Like that. Okay. Those are your I, Y, T's.